morning, good 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 morning to you. I want to welcome you to Create and Hustle, the show where we like to ask creatives, how did you take your idea and turn it into a business? And as you know, you can only find this show right here on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM, and I want to welcome you back to the show where we just like to say, hey, what's up? We like to talk to the creative thinkers and hear how they came up with their idea, how they hustled it, and how they are making money from that idea. It doesn't have to be anything specific. You know, it takes creative thinking in any industry you work in. So welcome to the show where we like to talk to those folks and get a little insight about business, creativity, you know, things happening around the world, happening around the country. And I want to thank you for listening to me each and every Thursday at 5:30 a.m. right here. So today, guys, first of all, I want to start with the slap of the century. I mean, it's something that I can't even slide in here and not even talk about. But recently we saw Will Smith slap the living daylight out of comedian Chris Rock at the Oscars the other day. And, you know, there are a lot of people who are on either side of the fence. Like, was this Will protecting his wife's name, his wife's image? Was this Will being toxic masculinity at its finest? Like, that's a discussion that we've been seeing all week. So let me know, wherever you're listening to this, let me know what side you live on in this argument. Because, you know, listen, I have my own personal thoughts, and, you know, once I hear yours, then I can share mine. So go ahead and be interactive and, you know, join in on the conversation. Secondly, the next thing I want to get into, listen, if you have a business, if you have a creative thought and you want to come on this show and talk about it, like, send us an email, createandhustle@gmail.com, createandhustle.com, where you can go and send us a message and, you know, see how you can get your interview up on the show. What else do we have here? The YouTube, folks. Check out the YouTube. It's popping over there. Like, it's slowly growing. And that's actually, you know, one of my latest task that I've really been focusing on is trying to grow the YouTube. And, you know, just like you, I have to learn how to create and hustle. Like, I had my time with YouTube back in the day, but YouTube is totally different than it is now. And so I'm trying to learn the game by watching other people, other creatives, as, you know, on their strategies on how to build, so I can come and tell you how to create and hustle. Okay, so yes, coming up later in the show, we have a special guest who is returning back to the Creative Corner. She is having an amazing event for her nonprofit, and she wanted to come back on Create and Hustle and let the community know what's going on with that. So stay tuned for that. But before that, I had another interview scheduled and they actually canceled. But that gives me a great opportunity to tell you something this morning. So anyone who's listening to this and you're using the internet to create and hustle, be sure to shoot your shot. Some of the most amazing people I have met in my life have been from the internet, whether it was someone creative, someone I needed to help me write something, someone I helped to, you know, who I just looked at and was able to learn from. Some of those connections have come from me just shooting my shot. And when I say that, I mean, like, are you researching the people who are in your industry? Are you researching the current trends that are happening in your industry? Like, these are the things that you should be doing. And I'm going to tell you a little reason why. First of all, you should already know what the trends are in your industry, whether you're an author, a singer, a writer, whatever it is. You should be knowing what's happening behind the scenes, who the key players are, and what they're doing to advance their respective brands. Now, they always say, folks, work smarter, not harder. And a lot of times as new creatives, we sit there and we try to rethink everything that already exists. And a lot of times the answers are right in front of our eyes. So by you shooting your shot, by you acknowledging someone else's presence in the industry, what that does is give you a little bit of knowledge to say, okay, you know what? I'm doing this right. I'm doing that correct. I'm doing this correct. And also, once you get into the rooms and the circles with those people, you will then sound like an expert instead of just sounding like you're just talking out of thin air and just making up stuff as you go. Like, you really want to focus and study what your thing is, and it don't take long. I mean, you just follow the right people on social media. Like, there's going to come a time where you're going to have to let go some of those random accounts that you follow just so you can start focusing on building your brand and learning how to create and hustle. So, you know, next time you see somebody, an artist, a writer or something like that, and you keep seeing them put out stuff, and they may not get the most likes. They just may get a couple likes. Just tell them, hey, you're doing a good job, because every creative mind, every creative thinker wants to be acknowledged, wants to be praised for their good ideas and their creative ways. So, and the last tip that I have for you is just send emails. I know a lot of times we just think that we'll never get that guest, I'll never get that client, I'll never do that deal. But a lot of times, like, the answer is right on the other side of just an email where you're asking a question, or you're asking if you can help somebody, or you're showing somebody what you could do for them. Now listen, I say send emails, send a lot, because the more you send, the more chances you have to actually get a chance to hear back from someone. But do not be sending emails out here just asking for stuff from people, because if you're not giving, you're not going to get anything in return. And it's supposed to be like a barter system. So if you're great at marketing and they're great at, sales, then maybe you guys will work out and have a great barter and do stuff like that. So remember to take your shot, do what you have to do in order to succeed. And while you're out there learning how to create and hustle, be sure to shoot your shot, because you never know if you're going to make the basket or not, if you're going to make that new opportunity to do the next things that you need to do in order to build your brand. But that's just a little quick word I wanted to get out to you. And the Create and Hustle platform is used to help people grow, help people learn, and all of that. And the one great thing about this is I'm meeting a lot of people who do a variety of things, which is just building my network. And you already know, you are your network of people that you know. So this is doing amazing things for me. And also it's having me, improving my interviewing skills. I will say that. But also, I get a chance to meet people, like I said, who are doing amazing things. And I actually have a returning guest who wanted to come on and talk about an event that her nonprofit is hosting for the month of April. And it's, it's virtual, so you can get in on this too. So let's slide on into the Creative Corner and talk to our old friend, Neisha Simpson. Okay, today we are in the Creative Corner with a special guest who has been here before. Everybody, welcome back, Neisha Simpson from Breakway EIP. Neisha, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you? Thanks for having me again.
No problem. Thanks for having me back. I told you you're one of my early guests. So I've been developing the whole template, based on some of those early guests. So I appreciate you for coming back. And I know that you have a special event coming up, but before that, I just have a quick question for you. So everyone who's listening, I know you saw the slap that was heard across the world. And I know that Breakaway EIP deals with, domestic violence and domestic violence victims. So I just wanted to get your perspective on what you thought about the whole situation about Will defending his wife, or do you see it as that?
I feel like any violence or a form of domestic violence is not okay. Whether that's you're defending someone, because then that at least gives perpetrators and other abusers an excuse to, justify their violence or, putting their hands on an individual, and that's never okay.
I totally agree. We are in the Creative Corner on ESPN Richmond 106.1. And we are here with Neisha Simpson, who is the founder of Breakaway EIP, which is a nonprofit that deals with domestic violence, correct?
Yes.
And you are having an event for the month of April. So tell us a little bit about that event and why you decided to put that on.
Yes. So as many of you may or may not know, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. For the whole entire month of April, we pay homage to those individuals who have lost their lives, who have been victims of sexual assault. And then we also want to celebrate those survivors who have been through sexual assault as well. So this particular event is called Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. And It's basically promoting fitness as well as remote awareness towards sexual assault. We want to be able to promote individuals to live a healthier lifestyle, but also walk for a purpose, using it as a motivating factor for them to walk and be healthy. And a lot of times, sexual assault is so renowned nowadays on college campuses and the workforce, whether that be rape, sexual harassment. There's various types of sexual assault. So this event or this month is very important to Breakaway.
That is very important, and I love a good walkathon. So, is this just for people in your area, or how can anyone get involved in this? And what are the ages or anything like that?
Anyone with a cell phone is able, or a Fitbit, anybody that like exercises. It is not just individuals who are in Nashville. We are like wanting this campaign to go viral. And if you are in, Washington, D.C., from California to Florida to Missouri, we want everyone to participate on this in this campaign for this very important topic. You can register at charityfootprints.com/breakaway/. And our registration actually is open now, but the kickoff for the actual event starts April 1st, and it's going to go the entire month of April.
Listeners, you guys heard it. Like, make sure you go and register for the Walk a Mile in Their Shoes event going on all April. And for those, we're in the Creative Corner on Create and Hustle, where we like to ask creative minds how they took their ideas and turned it into something great, like a walk a mile. Tell us, for the new listeners and people who didn't hear our last interview, tell us a little bit about your nonprofit, the services that you offer.
Yes, so Breakaway is a newly found nonprofit organization in Nashville, Tennessee, and we look to serve domestic violence and sexual assault victims and survivors. We provide 4 comprehensive services: mental health, skill enhancement, daycare services, and as well as wellness. We look to cultivate the mind, body, and spirit of those survivors and victims. As we know, just going to court, getting an order of protection, things of that nature is not enough for victims to become survivors. It is so much more than that. They have to go over and beyond to be able to regain a new them, to find a new them, in order to sustain that as well.
Amazing services that she's offering. And also the benefit of the Walk a Mile. Is there anything, like, what are those funds, those services go to, donations? What does that benefit?
So in Nashville, we have a sexual assault center, and some of the proceeds will be helping some of the victims and survivors at that center, as well as provide funding for Breakaway. Also, we want us to create this event to be kind of fun, and so you can challenge, individuals. We have a leaderboard. You can create teams if you wanted to do, sponsor your company, challenge your friend, create a nice little fun bet. But also, we want to make sure our steps count. We know that, women aren't the only ones that are victims of sexual assault. Men, members of the LGBTQ plus community, those numbers have gone up tremendously over the past year, especially due to COVID. So we want to make sure that we're walking a mile in their shoes and we're making every step count.
All right, folks. Well, Breakaway EIP Walk a Mile in Their Shoes event. You heard it first, April 1st through the 30th, 2022. Be sure to register now. You said its registration is open now, correct?
It is.
But starts April 1st.
Yes.
All right. So tell the people where they can find you online. Tell them your website. And also, what else do you see coming for the spring and summer?
So for the summer, we're still, hopefully we will be entering phase 1 and providing mental health services to individuals who have experienced domestic violence and sexual assault. We are also hoping to continue to build partnerships and relationships with individuals in the greater Nashville area, as well as the outskirts. And then also, again, you can find us via Instagram, follow us, Breakaway EIP. We're also on Facebook, Breakaway, and then you can tune into our website, www.breakawayeip.com.
Well, Neisha, I want to thank you for coming back into the Creative Corner where we ask people
For
how they
having
took
me.
their idea and turned it into a business. So thank you again. And also, like I said, just let me know when you have stuff coming up and I'll be sure to push out this stuff as much as I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. I want to thank my guest, Neisha Simpson, for coming into the Creative Corner again on Create and Hustle, where we like to ask creatives how they took their ideas and turned it into a business. Just like I told Neisha during our interview, she's actually one of the first guests that I had in our original video. Somehow got deleted and I wasn't able to upload it to the YouTube channel. So I'm glad that she was able to come back and tell us more about the walkathon that she has coming up. Listen, guys, spring is here. The good weather is breaking for some of us. I know, y'all on the East Coast, the Northeast Coast, y'all, may still be a little bit frigid, but, a little light jacket and a hoodie never hurt nobody to get out there, do a few steps, get a little healthier, and also help out someone in the end. So, just like she said, there are a lot of people going through domestic violence situation, men, women, LGBT, everybody is affected by the seriousness of domestic violence. And I'm glad that I was able to get her perspective on the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing, because there have been lots of debate this week about how you feel about that whole situation. So let me know wherever you can, wherever you're listening. If you're listening right now in your car, at work, at church, at the Greyhound station, I don't know where you're listening to, but there should be somewhere where you're able to comment back and let us know exactly what you think about that. And also, guys, Create and Hustle, I've been doing this journey since December 2021, and it has been a growing lesson for your boy. I am trying to manage, getting the interviews together, scheduling, all of the things that you have to do when you don't have a team of people to get it done. And I'm the type of creative that I'm just going to get it done regardless. I'm not going to sit there and wait for people, wait for help, and go through all of those things. What I'm going to do is learn everything so that way when someone does come to help, it's an easier transition to get things going. But guys, it's my time where I have to get up out of here. And you already know, just because this stops doesn't mean that our time together has to. You can always join me on the YouTube. Come on, guys, join us on the YouTube. CWF Network is what you will search on YouTube. Become a subscriber. Follow me on Twitter, because I've been keeping the people updated on my little YouTube journey of growing this thing. Follow me on the Instagram so you can see this little golden face and all the wonderful things that I'm doing over there. And also, Mush King __ is where you can find me on Instagram. And be sure to follow the CWF Network, where I have my show, A Story to Tell, and other great shows hosted by other amazing creatives who we will hear very soon on this show, Create and Hustle. And folks, be sure to just stick to your ideas. I know there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of opinions as to what you do when it's time to create a business, but unless somebody's sitting there and doing the work with you, don't listen to those opinions, because they may know what they're talking about, but they don't know how to create and hustle. So thank you again for joining me each and every Thursday right here on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM, where we like to ask creatives how they took their ideas and turned it into a business. So I will catch you next week. Ciao.